Please subscribe.
Living to some degree in the shadow of the extremely sharp Honda Civic Type R and contending legitimately with the amazing Volkswagen GTI, the humble Honda Civic Si has kind of flown under the radar since its introduction in 2017. Be that as it may, truth be told, the Civic Si is an outstandingly well-adjusted and connecting with sport minimized, one of my top choices right now. What's more, it's likewise an incredible spending execution pick. This year, the 2020 Si gets the old mid-cycle invigorate with amendments to the outside and inside structure, improvements to its suite of standard driver help highlights and a couple of execution changes. The little turbo that could. Look in the engine and you'll discover the Si is controlled by a 1.5-liter, turbocharged and direct-infused 4-chamber motor creating 205 pull and 195 pound-feet of torque. Presently, 1.5 liters may sound somewhat little. However, the energetic little motor flaunts extremely solid mid-range torque, with top contorting power going ahead as low as 2,100 revolutions per minute, and a superb ability to cheerfully swing the tachometer up to its 6,500 revolutions per minute limiter consistently. Without a doubt, it's at a force and torque inconvenience contrasted and its fiercest enemy, the VW GTI, yet the Si is no less energizing once the fires up begin building. The rush of the motor is upgraded by one of the most fulfilling 6-speed manual transmissions out and about today. The gearbox is exact with a shifter that attractively slides into place with each short toss. Apparatus changes are joined by a light grip, incredible for low weakness driving and unpredictable crawling, with astounding pedal position for simple heel and toe blips. The 2020 Civic Si's transmission highlights modified outfitting with a shorter last drive proportion than a year ago. The outcome is improved increasing speed and better throttle responsiveness, yet that comes at the expense of somewhat higher fires up, and a hair more automaton, when interstate cruising. By and large, the new equipping feels like a superior counterpart for the 1.5T and the Si's exhibition objectives. The manual transmission is the main gearbox accessible to Si purchasers, there is no programmed or double grip choice. I'm superbly content with that. The Si's 6-speed is about as immaculate as I could request. Yet this will naturally come as terrible news to people who can't or don't have any desire to drive a manual. Exactness dealing with. A restricted slip differential is standard on the Si, assisting with overseeing footing between the contact patches at the front wheels. The Si rides on a lot of 18-inch wheels shot in 235mm wide all-season tires, however you can likewise decide on summer tires. A $673 add-on. Summer tires are an absolute necessity get for Si purchasers, as they improve the exhibition extensively and are a phenomenal incentive for the cash. Note, according to Honda's customer site, the late spring tire sticker price has gone up to $673 from the first $200, which is the thing that it cost at the time I shot the video audit. All things being equal, it's as yet a really decent arrangement. The last bit of the exhibition puzzle is the suspension, which comprises of a McPherson Swagger front and multi-linked back mix with versatile dampers at all 4 corners. The dampers can go from firm to hella firm at the dash of a sport button close to the shifter turret. The Si's ride is a firm one, yet never cruel. The directing has a decent weight to it and a drawing-in feel that makes the game conservative wake up in your grasp. Like the powertrain, the skeleton tuning is exact, giving me extraordinary control and input through each period of a divert, from the braking to nailing the summit to progressing once more into quickening. As I referenced, the Si is down on power comparative with the GTI, however the manner in which it handles corners feels quite a lot more exact and drawing in that. In the city, where the delight of each corner and peak is undeniably more significant than specs, I truly couldn't care less. I feel encouraged to help more speed through a turn with the Honda, which appears to be lighter on its toes, and this compensates for any absence of torque. On the track, it'd presumably be an alternate story, however time assaults and lap fights are more the Type R's space, at any rate. What else is new for 2020? The remainder of the updates to the Si are new highlights and changes imparted to the remainder of the 10th era Honda Civic family. There are new standard driver help highlights beginning with forward impact notice with programmed crisis braking. On the roadway, versatile journey control makes long travels all the more unwinding by keeping up a set after separation behind a lead vehicle, while path continuing directing help helps hold the reduced between painted path markers and cautions you on the off chance that you float out of your path or over the edge of the street. My preferred security expansion is the new arrangement of LED headlamps with programmed high shafts that actuate on dull streets and naturally plunge to forestall astonishing approaching traffic. My least most loved duration is Honda's lane watch framework, a traveler side camera that enacts at the press of a catch or when the blinker is initiated. I'd much rather have a genuine vulnerable side observing framework watching the two sides of the vehicle, however I assume lane watch is superior to nothing. Up front in the dashboard is a refreshed, 7-inch variant of Honda's display audio infotainment framework. Try to bring your telephone curious to see what happens to exploit the standard Android Auto and Apple CarPlay availability, in light of the fact that there's no OEM route choice accessible for the Si. As I incline toward Android Auto over pretty much every installed infotainment at this value, I wouldn't fret this arrangement, yet at the same time, it bears referencing. Littler changes that you may miss are the new volume handle, which replaces the old and ungainly capacitive slider, alongside progressively physical catches and easy routes for infotainment and atmosphere control capacities. In addition, the new Civic has improved Bluetooth matching and smoother generally speaking framework execution. The directing wheel thumb controls have likewise been changed, the seats have been refreshed and the remainder of the lot gets a little visual revive for this new half-age. Gracious, and the cup holders are greater now, as well. Evaluating and rivalry. The 2020 Honda Civic Si is accessible in car and vehicle designs. By and by, I lean toward the look and utility of the car. Back entryways can be helpful. With a similar wheelbase and under 20 pounds of control weight contrast, execution is doubtlessly indistinguishable whichever way you go. Estimating is additionally indistinguishable, beginning at $26,195, counting a $995 goal charge, regardless of whether you pick 2 entryways or 4. There aren't numerous alternatives on the table for the well-prepared Si, however I'd suggest forking over the extra $673 for summer tires, carrying you to a prescribed cost of $26,868. That is about comparable to what you would hope to pay for the milder around-the-center Jetta GLI. A less refined yet heck of much progressively fun alternative is the new Hyundai Veloster N, which begins just shy of $29,000. Be that as it may, it's nothing unexpected that the Civic Si's fiercest opponent is likewise its most established, the Volkswagen GTI. The VW is to a greater extent a superior vehicle with more pleasant lodge materials, an accessible double-grip programmed transmission, a bigger 8-inch screen with installed route, an advanced instrument bunch and different highlights. Furthermore, it's a hatchback, which I love. Be that as it may, the Honda begins at about $2,000, not exactly the GTI, which can nearly value itself directly out of this class, in case you're not cautious. The Honda Civic Si, a game smaller legend in its own right, keeps on sparkling as a brilliant entertainer and a superb exhibitionist team, and the 2020 model year improves.